Today we're going to look at a pair of premium brand ultra compacts, the Joolz Aer2 and the Bugaboo Butterfly2, going over the advantages and disadvantages of each in turn, with relation to child comfort, ease of use, and driving characteristics, before ending with a discussion of which might make the better purchase. And beginning with the Aer2, the model clocks in at 6.7 kilos and folds down to 53 by 44 by 23.5 centimeters. It can carry 22 kilos in the seat and 8 in the underslung shopping basket. When it comes to child comfort, the Aer2 has both a nicely upright position, as well as a newborn acceptable near-flat recline, in Europe and most of the world at least, though I would note that shifting between these positions involves both a long zipper, as well as the need to unhook a strap. With regards to seat size, the Aer2 seat has a width of 37 centimeters, a length for the sitting surface of 89, determined by adding up the lengths of the backboard, baseboard, and leg rest, and a total longer length of 107 when considering space beneath the canopy and the distance to the front frame mounted footrest. As far as other aspects of the seat go, on the positive side, the harness is 5-point, with no rethread shoulder straps, shoulder pads set up in such a way as to hold the harness out from the seat back, and with a pair of straps below the seat for more easily tightening the shoulder or side straps. The canopy is extendable and gives good sun coverage. There's ventilation built both into the canopy as well as the seat back when reclined, and the textiles have an acceptably premium and well-padded feel. That being said, there are several negatives with the Aer2 seat as well in my opinion, with no flap to cover the long ventilation panel when the canopy is extended, the process of adjusting the leg rest feeling a bit clunky, the fabrics bunching up quite a bit when shifting the seat from reclined to upright, and with the naked backboard, with all of its tape and straps, being visible just by lifting the liner. For the newborn period, in addition to having a newborn acceptable recline, the Aer2 is compatible with a variety of car seat brands, and also has a bassinet available, with the unique feature of flattening and remaining attached to the stroller when folded, so that you can carry the whole thing as a single piece slung from your shoulder. When it comes to parent comfort, the Aer2's handle stands at a fixed height of 107 centimeters, while the shopping basket is decently sized and easy to access in the way it extends off the rear frame. With regards to folding, the Aer2 has a simple, handle-operated, one-handed fold, self-stands when folded, and has folded dimensions that are within the IATA's guidelines for cabin luggage. The model has a stretchy shoulder strap for more comfortably carrying it for longer periods, though I do miss some sort of additional handle or crossbar as a means of just lifting the Aer2 rather than using the handle. As far as how the model feels to use, the Aer2 has a sturdy, rigid feel with solid connection points, a lot of cross support, and tightly fitted components that make the chassis feel better manufactured than with many other brands. Looking at driving, the Aer2 has decent-sized wheels, 5.7 inches in the front and 6.1 in the back, as well as quite noticeable suspension, and while the model is primarily made for smoother urban environments, it can better handle stuff like broken sidewalks, gravel, and lighter cobblestones without feeling as jittery as with many competing ultra compacts. Moving on, the Butterfly2 weighs in at a heavier 7.5 kilos and folds down to a slightly larger 55 by 45 by 24 centimeters. It can take the same 22 kilos in the seat and 8 in the underslung shopping basket. Looking at child comfort, the Butterfly2 also has both a newborn acceptable near-flat recline, depending on where you live, as well as a similarly vertical upright position, where I'd note that the lever and strap used to shift between these positions is a lot less fiddly than the Air setup. Size-wise, the Butterfly seat is a little narrower, at 33 centimeters, though the seat is longer both in terms of the sitting surface, 92 centimeters, as well as with regards to its total length when considering space under the canopy and the distance to the front frame mounted footrest, at 119. Both models have essentially the same length for their backrests, 53 centimeters, as well as their leg rests, 15, and this difference then is primarily the result of the Butterfly having a deeper baseboard, as well as more length between the seat and the footrest. As far as other aspects of the seat go, the Butterfly feels more streamlined and less messy than the Air in my opinion, with a harness that's more or less identical, only without the two-strap tightening, an equally enclosing canopy that has a proper coverable mesh peekaboo window, a better adjustment mechanism for the leg rest, less bunching with the fabrics, and no naked backboard beneath the seat liner. At the same time though, while the textiles feel equally premium and likely a little more durable, padding is a little thinner, and the Butterfly doesn't have additional ventilation built into the seat back. For the newborn period, in addition to that near-flat recline, Bugaboo plans to release a cocoon for the model later in the year, which is nice, though may need to be removed when folding, unlike the Aer's bassinet. And the Butterfly similarly has car seat adapters available that are compatible with the same variety of brands. Moving on to parent comfort, the Butterfly2's handle stands at a lower fixed height of 103 centimeters, while the shopping basket extends a smidge further off the rear frame and is similarly comfortable to access. With regards to folding, the Butterfly's fold is identical to the Aer's, also being easily accomplished with one hand, self-standing when folded, and though a tad larger, also fitting within the IATA's guidelines. Unlike the Aer2, the Butterfly's leg rest doubles as a clear carry handle, and the model also has a shoulder strap, though one minor difference between these two worth mentioning when it comes to folding is that you do need to take the extra step of buttoning up the seat back on the Butterfly to keep it from hanging out of the folded package. As far as how the Butterfly feels to use, the chassis is nearly identical in design in many ways to the Aer, and feels equally sturdy and well manufactured. Wheel size is virtually the same as well, 5.5 inches in the front and 6 in the back, but shock absorption is stiffer, making the model more jittery when the going gets rough, even though it can still handle the same sort of conditions as the Aer in my opinion, without added risk of accelerating wear. So which one of these should you get then? Both of these are well-made models in my opinion, with chassis quite similar in design that both feel better put together than most other ultra compacts on the current market, and with both also having much larger than average seat dimensions. Looking at the finer differences, the Butterfly2 has a sleeker feel with regards to many aspects of its seat, in terms of how it reclines, how the leg rest works, and with regards to the textiles. But the Aer2 has advantages as well, with its slightly better terrain capability, being a tad lighter and smaller when folded, and with its unique bassinet, which gives it a significant advantage for use during the newborn period. In any case, we hope you found this video interesting, and if you did, please subscribe, as a sort of support really helps us to continue making videos in the future. If you'd like to know more about either of these models, we have standalone reviews that go into a lot more detail, and links have been added in the description. In addition, if you're currently shopping for a stroller, we have a buyer's guide on our Patreon page which lists a wide range of models that we recommend, with a lot of technical and lifestyle related information. You can find it by following the link in the description as well. Thank you.